The Forestry Division has been working tirelessly post-Hurricane Maria to ensure that Dominica's ecosystem has a fighting chance despite the almost catastrophic devastation caused by the Category 5 storm. On Tuesday, GIS News spoke with the director of the Forestry Division, Mitchington Burton, who stated that Dominica's wildlife, including the national bird, the Cecil Parrot, was severely impacted.
Since Hurricane Maria, you know that the forests of Dominica were severely damaged, and as a result, the wildlife were particularly affected because most of the areas where they live, which is the forest, they depend on a lot of the forest species for food, and so most of their food source got destroyed, as well as a number of the birds, we believe, also suffered. Some of them lost their lives also during the hurricane. As most of you, a lot of people saw a lot of the birds, particularly parrots, the redneck parrot in particular, were foraging for food in many different, some of them coming very close to residential areas. And we've had a number of reports of these birds in distress actually looking for food in many areas.
He did, however, state that nationals have been playing their part in helping to preserve these national treasures.
Most people in Dominica, because of the consciousness of the importance of the birds, both the Cecil and the Jackal and other birds and other wildlife, a lot of people went about putting out food for some of the birds, or the bananas. Some people put out for some of the small banana quits, etc., sugar and other food stuff. But you have others, small elements who take advantage of such situations to probably try to prey on these birds and hunt them, etc. So that's why we went out and we put out these announcements. We tried to encourage the public if you saw sightings of any of these birds, and particularly the Cecil, because we know that there were a number of sightings of the Jackal Parrot, the redneck, which is, the redneck is a bit more abrasive. It will come closer to civilization. Even before the storm, some of the farmers would complain that some of these parrots were in their cultivations, particularly citrus and one or two other crops. But particularly after the storm, they came closer to many people's homes, etc.
Burton noted that weeks following Hurricane Maria, forestry officers were unable to sight any parrots, but as of this time, he can report numerous sightings.
For several weeks following the hurricane, there were no sightings of any Cecil parrot. Our officers were out in the field in some of the key areas where we normally sight this bird, and syndicate and other areas, and we did not get any reports of them. So we put out the announcement, particularly for the Cecil parrot, to see if anybody would have, sighted them, so we were able to know exactly which localities that they're still found. Fortunately, I can confirm that within the last week or so, we did get confirmation of sightings of the Cecil, at least two or so of them. And actually, we had one video. Somebody actually video taped one of the birds close to their home, and so we know for a fact that a few of them survived. As to how many, we are not able at this time to say.
The division is currently nursing over 20 birds back to health.
We've had so far about 8 birds, which has been returned, which have been brought to us, like people who have actually, well, all of them redneck parrots, as the jackals, and they brought them to us. Some people actually, as far as the Caribbean territory, a gentleman came and he brought birds to us. Some of them they called us, and our officers went to pick them up. So we have in the Parrot Aviary in the Botanic Gardens we have at least 8 birds that were recently collected, added to about the 18 that we already had in the facility. And even today, they were called to pick up, our officers went to pick up another one.
And those were injured birds?
Yeah, a lot of them were injured birds and so on, so we'll have to have them treat them and then before we can release them back into the wild.
The director of forestry also said that efforts are ongoing to source feed for these parrots.
They're looking for feed. We're trying to source feed also locally, and also we have a number of international partners already who have been sending feed for us. We have already collected quite a bit, and also the feeders to actually place the feed in for the birds. So We are also hoping that we'll get a few individuals who are bird enthusiasts and so on, who will actually assist us in areas where they send the birds, so that we can distribute some of these feeders and the feeds, so that we can assist these animals in the time of stress.
He appealed to the general public to continue reporting any parrot activity to the Forestry and Wildlife Division.
We also put out a recent announcement reminding people that these two birds in particular, the Jackal and the Cecil, are in fact specially protected birds, and there are huge fines and even jail sentences if people are involved in any way in trading of the birds or killing them or anything like that. So again, we like to remind the public of that. And again, I like to inform people, if they continue to sight, particularly Cecil, continue to inform us, so we'll know which localities they are. We can actually go out there and do some monitoring.
Reporting for GIS News, Kadisha St. Louis.